Hi, I'm Angela Skurtu, and you can find me at www.therapistsinstlouis.com. So, what if your partner takes too long during sex? So, this is very much focused on the masculine people in our life, but I've had quite a few people say to me that their partner, their masculine partner, sometimes takes too long during sex. Now, this is hard because it's a mixed message. Quite a few men in this situation will say, but I heard women want to go longer during sex. So I want to dispel a myth for you. When women talk about sex lasting longer, we're not talking about penetrative sex, penis and vagina. We're talking about all the stuff around it. When I've talked to women across multiple years of my work, most women care more about the extra parts of sex, or something I would actually like to call queer sex instead of foreplay, because foreplay even makes it sound like foreplay is the appetizer to the entree of penetrative sex, and it still really boxes sex in. So when a woman or a partner, because any gender can be represented here, I want to be universally representative. When a partner is sometimes saying they want sex to last longer, what they may be talking about is making out longer, touching each other more intimately, taking it slow, trying things like biting, trying things like tying each other up, trying things in new rooms, trying things like watching something sexy together. And by sexy, I don't only mean porn. A lot of times your first thought is watching porn together, but there's a lot of sexy things out there. It could involve reading erotica that you found online, or watching a movie that's just interesting, like one of those French romances that's kind of, just off the cuff. So sexy can mean a lot of things here too. It can mean the interaction mentally, the build up during the day, the flirtation on text, or even the flirtation telling each other what you want to do to one another. So sex lasting longer is more about the erotic stimulation around sexuality and less about penetrative sex. Some of my personal best partners were people who lasted 5 minutes or less when it came to actually penetrative sex. But they were very versatile partners in terms of all the different options sexually that were available to try. That it didn't have to end in penetrative sex, that it could end in oral sex, that it could end in some type of fingering or stimulation with a toy, or cuddling and touching, and something one of my clients affectionately refers to as naked cuddles, because they were a Southern couple. But naked cuddles of being together and just feeling naked bodies and holding one another and touching those parts intimately. So when people are discussing wanting sex to last longer, a lot of times what they're talking about is queer sex, sex that can be varied and that stimulates all the nerve endings and really gets your brain going. And I'm challenging you all to do the same, to get out of the American sex box, which simply looks like you kiss a little, you touch a little, maybe there's oral sex, but then a penis goes into a vagina, and then that's the end. It's very limiting, and you're missing out on a better sexual experience. Because really good sex is pleasure focused. It's not results focused, like that American sex that I described, or we could also call it heteronormative sex. But it is pleasure focused, meaning how can each of us experience pleasure in a way that works for us? So that could look like one person just gets a full body massage and another person gets oral sex. Like, doesn't matter. It's about being honest with what is pleasurable to you, sharing what you want in that moment, having a conversation about what each of you desires, and getting that pleasure, whatever that pleasure is. And sometimes it even means unlocking pleasure from orgasm. That doesn't mean I don't want you to orgasm, because believe me, orgasms are wonderful. But it does mean that you don't put pressure around orgasms. So if you're going to get one, great. But if you're not, there's a deep respect for that's your choice, and I'm okay with that. And there's a discussion around, if you do want an orgasm, how you want that to happen. So I'm really challenging all of you to have deeper conversations and open up, expand your minds to be more pleasure focused, more queer sex focused, and less heteronormative. Thank you. You can reach me at www.therapistinstlouis.com.